regresamos. Split up your manos. Members of time to unite Chicanos, Latinos, and los Estados Unidos. Don't care if you're Ricans or even Cubanos. Look at the coaches. We have more common, don't let them divide. These suckers are vultures. Either we standing together or better be standing aside. Now is the time, don't know about you, but I'm gonna ride. We gotta climb, fight for your veins, but where was your pride? Where are the gunners that you got inside? Look how our ancestors came to this country. They try to be living the American dream. Don't throw it away. They promise you money and got your agent for the machine. Pick a new team, you bless socialism, but that is a system that you wanna bring. You need to think, we gotta fight communism, cause it look like we on the brink. Connect to the links, so one party system is taking the power from all of the people. We need to think, when will you listen? These people are evil and won't see the sequence, so what is your plan? Hand in hand, we're standing together, cause it's the one never to do what you can. Please understand, we gotta do better, so walkers remember that we took a stand. Escúchame, 24 es el año, si se puede. Lucha, lucha por la libertad. Órale, vamos.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Latino Free Minds, episode 135. How you doing, Danny?
Doing good. Just excited to talk about some things that we haven't talked about before. So, pretty excited about that. How about you?
Good. Been enjoying this rain we've been getting over here.
Yeah.
It's much needed. So I think it's gonna rain. It didn't rain today, but I think it's gonna rain tomorrow. So
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad. I was out in Galt most of the day today.
Oh, good old Galt.
Yeah, they're
That
building a
place
lot
is
of houses
grown.
out there.
Yeah, it's grown a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, just
Right on.
staying busy at work. So, I'm just gonna, we're gonna talk about a few different topics, probably 3 different topics, and a lot of things that have been going on recently, and just share your thoughts. And this will probably answer, throughout the show, but in the comments, just put, does America First have a different meaning than just America First? Because I think a lot of people are giving it another meaning that makes no sense. But let us know what you guys
Like
think.
critics are giving it a different meaning. What do you?
Critics, I think people that we'll talk about that are kind of conflating things, trying to cancel people, stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, man. So with that being said, let's get into the show. So let's go to topic 1. It makes it look professional, huh?
We're coming up.
Yeah, we're coming out. Yeah, that was expensive. So, support. No, I'm just kidding. So, you've been keeping up with the whole Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump drama that's been going on recently?
I've seen clips here and there, and yeah, I've got the general gist is that she got kicked out of the MAGA movement, right?
Yeah. She's a Marjorie Trader Green, I think is what he said.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's
Look,
interesting that
yeah.
someone that supported him from the very beginning and still does, actually, even after everything's happening, from some of the things that I've seen, she's anti-MAGA now, or she's gone too extreme. She's gone too MAGA.
Too MAGA. It's to me, it's crazy because exactly what you said. She's supported Trump from the beginning. Her entire time that she's been in Congress, she supported him. She lost committee chairs. People make fun of her. People, how many people said she was crazy just for supporting Trump. And I think her more than anyone was the most loyal person to Trump.
Yeah.
Especially after the 2020 election. She's the one that kept saying what we've all said is, there was some fraud there, that election wasn't legit. And she fought through and through. And I just think it's, and it's crazy because it has to do with the whole Epstein list thing, which the House voted for yesterday. I want to say the Senate today, and I
Yep.
don't know if
No,
Trump signed it yet or he's going to, but
I
it's
think
basically on his desk to get it out.
yeah.
So,
I think Gio just sent in our text thread that a little clip that he did sign it. Uh,
uh,
I don't know if that's like breaking news right now. I mean, we knew he was gonna do it anyways. So
yeah, so I don't understand like the whole I hope they kind of work that out because I don't find Marjorie to be a traitor. I think that sort of label, you put on people like Fauci, you know, you put on people that have like really legitimately betrayed the people of this country. And, you
someone that
know,
you can almost label treasonous, right? I mean, that's basically what
yeah,
you're kind of implying, right?
yeah.
So
And, we'll see. And a lot of people, you know, um, it's crazy because I see, okay, Trump calls her a traitor. Kind of, they have the little split, the little fight or whatnot.
mhm.
And just people, I don't know what it is. It's like, are they just so is it partisan? Are they so pro Trump that he says she's a traitor and then people boom, yeah, traitor. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I've been seeing a lot of that, and it's like, yeah, she went on CNN or she went on The View, and it's like one of the complaints they had about her going on CNN was because she, in a sense, apologized for the rhetoric and said like, she's gonna do her part to kind of lower the temperature, so to speak. Um,
specifically what rhetoric?
just like
Like,
I guess how Democrats and Republicans in general address each other, and it kind of gets to the point where it's real divisive, could
mhm.
end up being violent and all that. Um, so she kind of said that she's gonna do her part to kind of tone that down.
Okay,
Which to me, okay, cool, fine.
yeah.
Um,
Especially after what happened with Charlie Kirk and stuff like that, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
especially because of that, and people are mad at her for apologizing for saying just, hey, I'm gonna tone it down.
Hmm.
Like, isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we always say? Isn't that what a lot of people were saying after what happened to Charlie was like, hey, you guys gotta bring the rhetoric down.
Yeah, lower the temperature.
So she goes on there, says that, and, and now that's a problem. So
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know if it's because just Trump said she was bad. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, everybody falls in line.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. What do you think?
I think what we have to do is, for ourselves, establish what we said from the very beginning is that we've supported Trump, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to call out or hold the administration or him accountable.
Mhm,
And some of the stuff that we're seeing right now, straight up, um, it's pretty hypocritical, if you ask me. And a lot of the things that she's speaking up on are things that Trump and the administration ran on. To be honest with you,
mhm,
and let's just say it, elephant in the room. We don't. I don't generally speak about it because I don't know the history about that certain territory, and I'm talking about Israel and Gaza and the surrounding areas and everything that's going on there.
mhm,
But what is the common denominator here, where people start getting calls to get canceled and stuff like that? And let's just be honest, it's like when you start talking about you know taking care of America first and start questioning why we're sending so much of our tax dollars over to another country, which happens to be in this case Israel. and you start questioning some of the things that the and let's be a little bit more specific in saying the Israeli government,
Hmm.
because I think that's one of the things that we're going to talk about that we have to separate when we talk about that general area in the
Or just,
Middle
yeah,
East.
just the name Israel in general, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's the common denominator. And I think, in my opinion, that she's calling them out, the whole MAGA movement, um, in the hypocrisy that they're involved right now, in my opinion.
Hmm.
So we'll get into that, but that's kind of where my mind is at. And one of the other things that I want to kind of correlate and bring together here is something that I've been really focusing on, is the lobbies.
Hmm.
Is that I've been sitting back and I've been listening to both sides go back and forth, arguing and fighting, and the dialogue that's going on, disagreements, if you will. Um, and I came to um, uh, a point where I'm going, we're going to argue forever and never come to an agreement if we don't address the lobby. And now, let me give you this example: is if we look up the lobbies that have been funding both sides.
Hmm.
I'm going to give you an example with Elon Musk. Wasn't he on the left for the longest time, and he, donated a lot of money for the Democratic,
Hmm.
politicians and stuff like that in the past.
Yeah.
Now he saw the tea leaves, where they were leading, and where the wind was blowing, and he knew that, you know, um, Trump was, going to be the president again, and all of a sudden he wants to jump ship, and now he's, the best friend of the Republican Party, and
Hmm.
now he's known, to be part of the Republican Party. So is it loyalty, or is it just self-interest? And I think that's the biggest one that I can, point out.
Hmm.
And we could talk about like big pharma, how they fund both sides. And we could talk about how um, RFK Jr. called out Pocahontas, or whatever her name is, and Bernie Sanders, getting all the money that they were getting from big pharma as far as lobbyists goes. And they're sitting up there, and and they're questioning him and his motives when they're getting money from that lobby.
Hmm.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if we they they're playing both sides, and we're arguing, and that's exactly what they want, and nothing's going to fix if we don't pay attention to you know the lobbyists, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, and then that's why, like, because yeah, you've made those clips on lobbying and kind of their impact and what they do. Um, and that's kind of when I made the clip about uh Marjorie versus Lindsey Graham. It's like, well, you
That's
know,
a perfect example.
Lindsey Graham has taken millions of dollars in special interest lobbyist money versus MTG has just gotten like, I think it was like 30 grand total. And it's mostly like people groups, grassroots groups that want election integrity. Or I forget what the other thing was, but it's like nothing compared to, you know, Lindsey Graham's been in office for decades.
Yeah.
And and that's kind of one of the disappointing things about, you know, right now Trump is cool with Lindsey Graham and not cool with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's like,
Look, with anybody that just recently got into paying attention to politics and stuff like that, one thing that you need to know is that Lindsey Graham is a warmonger, the biggest
opportunist.
rhino that you would ever come across. And he was being criticized left and right. And this guy is just, doing the same thing that Elon Musk is doing. Is that he knows which way the wind is blowing, and he's all uh,
Did
Trump.
you see the clip of him saying something to the effect that they're oh my god, what did he say? I forgot what he said, and then he said, and we're killing the right people.
Oh wow!
Did you see that clip?
No, I didn't. But just you
Oh,
saying that is like these people get away with saying stupid shit like that.
I don't know who. I think Tucker posted it. The guy that
Oh yeah,
the guy needs to shut up.
that.
Oh man, if I find it right now, I'll share it on the screen. But
Yeah,
dude, yeah, he said something about we're winning or we're something. But he's like, but we're killing the right people, and it's like, dude, who's the right people?
elaborate.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, look, and one of the sad things is that people on the conservative side, on the Republican side, are having some liberal tendencies right now to want to put labels on people just because you ask certain questions. Like right now, just on what you and I have been talking about right now,
hmm
we'll be labeled anti-Israel or anti-Semitic or something to that effect, just because we're not jumping on board and
yeah. We're not just on the bandwagon, I guess.
uh,
And
it,
man,
no,
it's
go
crazy.
ahead.
No, it's crazy. And I saw that video, and it's like, this is the and it goes into topic two, and we could kind of transition to that, which is lobbying, the impact, right? And it kind of the question you have to ask when it comes to lobbying is who really runs things.
Yeah.
Is it really the elected representatives and the people that elected them, or is it the people that are paying the money and for what? Um, so there's when it comes to Lindsey Graham, he is he's an opportunist. That's how I kind of best describe him. Um, and he is okay saying killing the right people. I think one of his major donors was part of the military industrial complex.
Yeah.
I think it was for weapons and stuff like that. So if that dude is making money off of that stuff, and then he goes on stage and says, we're killing the right people, like that's just crazy to me. That's maybe that's what his special interest group wants
Um,
to be done.
the way that I see it, that's a lot of pressure coming from that group. I mean, they've invested a lot of money into him, and they expect to get something out of their investment. So, I mean, that's just common sense. There's no way that you could just go, this person, what, how would they spin this, Daniel? Would they spin it that no, we don't expect anything back from him. We just really like Lindsey Graham, and we like what he's done in the past, and it just happens to align with everything we've ever wanted him to do, and we just support him, but we don't expect anything back. Is that what we're expected to believe?
I
Because
think
if
so.
if you're one of those people, if you're a citizen, American citizen, and you believe that, I I would have like really serious concerns about your judgment
Yeah.
without saying too much.
Here, I think this is the clip. Um, Let me see if I can get it to play and we can listen to it.
He recognized Jerusalem as capital of Israel. Why? Because if you got a problem with that, take it up with God. He's the guy that did it, not Trump. So I just want to say, I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes. Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II.
That's
Wow. And they're laughing as they're
uh
saying this stuff.
yeah, yeah. And it's, I don't we'll talk more about that, but it's like
Yeah, that's
it's
pretty rough.
insane.
I mean, you know, what I always say is, when they stand up and tell us who they are, keep doing what you're doing, Lindsey Graham. I think there really is an awakening, and the unfortunate incident that happened with Charlie Kirk um, has spiritually awoken a lot of people. So keep standing up and telling us who you really are. One of the things that I'm proud of that you and I do, and Gio and Christian do at
Mhm,
LFM, is that we said that we were going to hold accountable, and we were going to call out things like this with the Republican administration, the Trump administration, and stuff like that. And there's a lot of things being said and being done right now that just need to be called out, and that's one of them right there.
mhm,
That is totally unacceptable. So when we say that Trump isn't starting wars, um, um, and he's ending wars, and someone stands up and says something like that, that's unacceptable. That's not what the Republican Party wants. That's not what Trump supporters want. That's not what MAGA supporters voted for, in my
mhm.
opinion.
Yeah.
Is when we say no wars, we mean no people dying.
Mhm. And I mean, and let's say even if you are in a war, let's say you are legit a wartime. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like you shouldn't publicly celebrate the death of people.
No, that's absolutely the way that he was smiling, giggling. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Know your position and your audience too. I highly doubt that a lot of people, the majority of the people, found that to be something that they would cheer on. I mean, I'm ashamed that he said that.
Yeah. And I don't even like the guy.
Yeah,
So I saw that the other day, and I think it was the day after I made the clip that I had made on that. And you know,
even more appropriate after that.
yeah. And to get back to the lobbying, so we know obviously he he's beholden to, weaponry and those kind of lobbyists and stuff like that. But just so you guys kind of get an idea, I got a little bit of money information as far as lobbying that was spent, I think this year. um I think total spent in lobbying this year was 4.2 billion. uh Top spenders were pharma at 62 million, tech giants, so Google, Amazon, and Meta for about 50 million or so. um what they bought: blocked drug price negotiation expansions, light touch AI rules, protected corporate tax loopholes. Um, let's see. So big pharma, 190 million alone in the fourth quarter to kill Medicare drug price bargaining. So insulin and diabetes meds were still expensive. Um, it's just six. What did I say? 4.2 billion in lobbying, and then it gets to the point. Is this free a way of is this a uh, a form of free speech, or is this just legalized bribery? Because I'm thinking it's the latter.
Yeah, And you know what the sad part about this is? Okay, as we're speaking about this, it's not it's not sensationalized like a conversation.
Hmm.
It's not drama talking smack about one specific person and what they did and what they um, said, you know, and it doesn't garner that much attention. So it just flies under the radar. People really don't pay attention to it. They don't react to it. But this is what we need to focus on.
Hmm.
That's the sad part about this whole situation. And you talk about like lobbying reform and stuff like that, which there are some bills out there, and surprisingly, it's coming from the Democratic side. So if you look up, representatives,
Hmm.
Congress, and stuff like that that are bringing up bills, different versions of them, to limit lobbying, and for example, the whole um, um, stock trading.
Yeah, yeah.
She just retired. This what's
Oh,
her name? Damn,
Nancy.
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
So with Nancy Pelosi announcing that she's not gonna, run again, and everybody knows about how well her portfolio did, with the stock market, and allegedly, insider trading. I mean, no one can do that well if you're not, taking some of the information that you're getting from, political position to be so successful, with your stock trades and stuff like that.
Hmm.
There's bills that have been introduced, um, to limit that too. So I mean, there's people out there that are trying to limit this or reform it, but no one's talking about it, and that's exactly what they want. And what is everybody talking about? All the drama.
Hmm.
This person said this, that other person said this. Newsom is talking about punching SOBs in the mouth and stuff like that, and that's what garners attention. You know,
Hmm.
they've got us, look at, what my right hand is doing, but don't look at, what my left hand is doing over here. And in my opinion, that's exactly what they want us to pay attention to, and not what the left hand is doing. And we're eating it up like chumps.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, these people are getting paid to not represent us, which is crazy because not now it's like as you were talking, like I had the thought of because I think I said 42 billion from lobbyists.
Hmm.
How much? I just want to see how much on average do the American taxpayers pay combined per year. Because I'm assume it's more than 42 billion. Let me see. And it's like there's no way these lobbyists are paying more money than we are combined to not be put first, to not be represented, to not have the will of the people, uh, you know, to not enforce it, to just go into Congress, go into the Senate, go into government, and start working for lobbyist groups. So let's see. It says give or take federal income total combined is about $5.2 trillion. So all taxpayers combined in the United States per year pay about 5.2 trillion in tax dollars. And these politicians are not representing us, not doing anything that we need for 42 billion from lobbyists.
So check this out. As you said that right now, look at how twisted this is. These lobbyists are paying money so that these politicians can spend our tax dollars where they want us, where they want them to spend it,
Hmm.
where they want them to send it.
Yeah.
That's insane, and we're allowing this to happen. We're
Yeah.
allowing these politicians to continue to stay in office instead of recalling them, instead of primarying them out. That's insane.
That is,
The,
dude.
the, the power that we wield to get them out of office. It's a simple vote, man. It's a simple vote to get them out,
Hmm.
and we allow this to happen.
And that's why they want people to think their vote don't matter. You know, they
Yeah,
want people to think that it's insignificant. And hey, dude, don't go vote. Nothing's gonna happen. And it's like, yeah, if you don't go vote, nothing's gonna happen. These people aren't gonna get out, and they're gonna keep doing what they're doing behind closed doors with these lobbyists, and nothing gets done for us. But they got everyone into thinking that their vote doesn't matter, so they don't vote, and these people stay in there. That's how Nancy Pelosi leaves with 200 million on a $200,000 salary or whatever the hell it was. Like, that's insane.
that's crazy.
But
Career politician.
she's getting out, I guess. And
She's
you know,
she's only 82 or something like that.
yeah,
You
she
know,
gotta she can enjoy her retirement. That is a whole nother topic, man. We need term limits because
there's a lot of things that we could do to fix this, but the focus isn't there. Like term limits, it get Trump threw it out a bunch of times on his first stint
term,
as
yeah,
president. Yeah, his first term, and you would think. I mean, we're barely getting into a year of his second term, but I haven't heard any talk about term limits or anything like that. Maybe that's coming down the line, but that's something that he did run on before, right?
yeah. And that's the thing, though. It's like, and we said this, I think, uh, election day or the episode after election day is a lot of this stuff that he ran on isn't going to get accomplished if the people in Congress and Senate are weak. If they don't do their part, obviously because of checks and balances, there's three branches to the government. If the legislative branch didn't pull through, it was going to be an opportunity wasted. And I think a lot of people that voted for Trump, obviously he's done good things. It's not all a loss. It's not all a waste, but a lot of people aren't seeing those things really start to happen with the majority that we have. So
Yeah,
it's like I think a lot of people feel, and I think they're right to feel that way, that we're wasting this this opportunity to like really turn things around for the American people. And term limits, that's going to be something that would be interesting because when we talk about lobbying and these politicians in there, it's voting for against their self-interest. They're voting to, okay, I can only be in here, I don't know, 15, 20 years, whatever it is, right? I think, my opinion would be, if you have an effective person that gets elected into Congress, into the Senate, I mean, if you're effective within 10, 15 years, you probably changed, the things you needed to change, and then you're out. It shouldn't be a career. It
yeah.
should be like you go in there, fix whatever needs to be fixed, and then you move along. And that is how also you eliminate a lot of this lobbyist stuff,
Corruption too.
because the longer someone's
Corruption.
in there, yeah, the more they could be corrupted.
Yeah. And if you really think about it, I mean, it sounds really simple, and some something that you could fix, pretty quickly. I mean, if those
They
things
could
were,
fix it tonight if they just did it.
yeah, exactly. But the problem is that, like you said, they're protecting themselves, so they're not going to listen to what we have to say and our best interest. So they're going to protect themselves.
Hmm.
It it's like, what do they say? The fox watching the hen house, But that's where we have to be vigilant and pay attention to these type of things. And if we really did exercise our power, um, as soon as, because the politicians have to tell us something that is appealing to us. They're going to say the right things,
Hmm.
to get voted in and stuff like that. And as soon as they get in, it goes by the wayside, and then they start doing whatever the lobbyists want them to do. I mean, that's a fact
Yeah.
that happens. But as soon as they start doing that, we hold them accountable and vote them out, or recall them and go through the process. Then at some point, they're going to have to do what the people demand.
Hmm.
You know, but we have to be um, vigilant in that. Pay attention to it. But I joke around and I always say this is, but no, but people start worrying about their fantasy football lineup right now, for this weekend coming up, or Thursday night football, or whatever
Hmm.
it's coming up, and that ain't gonna happen, man. And I'm, me, I'm not a pessimist by nature, but in this case, in this regard, with everything that's been happening, I am a pessimist. I am disappointed. Someone was trying to talk smack, and it's like I'm mad,
Hmm.
that certain things aren't going our way, and it's not that I'm mad. I'm disappointed.
Hmm.
I live in Stockton, and I just saw a clip, city council meeting, and it's like a Jerry Springer episode, watching that session going through.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous,
An
man.
embarrassment.
It's an embarrassment. It's disappointing, and it's disappointing that we elected these people just because of name recognition.
Hmm.
That's how that's really disappointing, Daniel. And it's like one of those things that I talked about, and I sounded like a pessimist when I was talking about this. Is that we it's accountability. We allowed this to happen.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's on us, and it's on us to fix it. I mean, we outnumber them. We outnumber them, and well, shit, we outspend them too. If you combine all our money, so I think that our government has to get its priorities straight, and we, the people, have to make them realize that we are the priority, not these lobbyist groups that are already making millions of dollars.
Not only that, you're right. We are the priority, but we're the damn bosses. Like growing up, I remember going to elementary school, and they were telling us in elementary school,
Hmm.
doing social studies and stuff like that. It's like we are the bosses. That's what they used to tell us in school.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like we vote these people in. They have to um, uphold the will of the people.
Yeah.
That ain't happening right now, and I doubt it. If I go into a fifth grade class right now, I'm pretty sure those teachers aren't telling the students that right now.
No,
They're
I don't.
socially programming them just to be freaking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even want to.
I know what you mean.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where you're going. But it's true. I mean, that's all kids are getting out of school right now. That's why homeschool rates are like, I want to say, I don't know if it was uh I think it was Damani, the guy that was on last week with me and Gio.
Hmm.
He posted something about homeschooling, and I forget what year it was that it was like the first one, and it was I want to say 20,000 or so families that homeschooled. And then I think right now it's at 4.2 million.
Good.
So it's like, yeah, because the school system sucks. We're ranked towards the bottom, especially here in California. So it's like, yeah, why do you want your kid there? For what? Just to get indoctrinated with something? You turn into some social justice, you know, little punk.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? Okay, so let's talk about something positive. In I don't know, it probably comes, if you want to go to the next topic, but there's a lot of pushback on a lot of the censoring that they're trying to do, and I don't know what to call it other than, I don't know, man. It's like tribal. Now, we talked about,
It's tribalism, pretty much.
we always said that about, the left, Democratic Party, and um, we basically said that they were just, like followers of, something tribal more than, like I
Hmm.
don't know, like,
All right. Well, yeah, I guess we could get into topic number 3. So something that we haven't really, I mean, we've talked about it, but not like directly, I guess, is what you're kind of alluding to was the cancellation of certain people. And as you said earlier, it revolves around one thing. And most of the time, right now, a lot of it revolves around how people feel about it. And my opinion, and I think me and you are on the same page. And I don't think we've ever even really talked about it, but you know, I've always said that yes, and we might have actually. Israel, the country, yes, has the right to exist, right? Israel, the country, is a land. It's the Holy Land. That's where Jesus walked. That's where he lived. That's where he was crucified. It is of religious relevance to Christians that Israel is, preserved. So yes, as Christians, we see the importance of the historic land of Israel. Now, where people I think mix it up when you start all this name calling is when you start to criticize the government of Israel. And to me, in my mind, and I could imagine the same in yours, is the land of Israel, the Holy Land, versus the government, the current government, today's government of Israel, is two are two completely different things. And I feel like a lot of people are just putting them both together as one. And that's what I see. Is that kind of where you're at?
yeah, and I've thought about this for a very long time, and when I say a long time, I've noticed this movement and this happening over 10 years ago. I want to say 15 years ago, it kind of caught my attention, and it's something that I've been very careful in talking about, because we have to admit when we don't know the history of certain things, and it's very complicated. I've looked into the history of Gaza and stuff like that, and even a little bit, the history of Israel and what's happened after Jesus's time, and the um, you know who's ruled that area after Jesus walked the lands there and stuff like that, and it's very complicated, and a lot of people don't understand it, and I that's the reason that I've been very careful about making assumptions or having an opinion about it. But one of the things that is happening right now is, you know, the censorship and the assumptions that other people make, and right away they start calling you anti-Semitic and things like that, or anti-Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And to the point that you were making, yes, I do agree that there's a difference between the Israeli government of right now, the current times, and the Holy Land. And to me, there's a difference, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem that I see in my mind is that people conflate. They put those two together and identify them as one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get it straight here. Is that those are two completely different things. What Bibi Netanyahu does right now has nothing to do with the Holy Land in my mind. And if you want to call me anti-Semitic for that, you can go ahead and do it. I don't give a damn. Um, but when he's making statements about what he's doing and political movement and all of that stuff. It doesn't mean anything to me as far as the Holy Land goes. But we do have I do agree that we have mutual interest to preserve that land.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, that's my position. That's what I think. That's what I believe. And let's not be naive and pretend that people aren't getting canceled because they're being put in that category as
Mm-hmm.
anti-Semitic and anti-Israel. Just if you even utter a word about this and you try to make a distinction or give your opinion of what you believe, like what we're discussing right now and what that land means to us
Mm-hmm.
as Christians, and I think it's wrong, and I think it's wrong, and we're starting to act like the left has always acted, like liberals.
Mm-hmm.
Is that as soon as you utter an opinion about it, you're the opposition now,
Yeah.
and no one can deny that that's what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we talked about in the past is censorship in mainstream media. Now everybody knows that it's fake news and no one's paying attention to it. But remember, one of the things that you and I had talked about on episodes in the past
Mm-hmm.
is that the machine, these lobbyists that pump so much money into feeding us fake news, they know that social media is the new outlet for news.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing this happen real time, that these you know social media influencers are getting fed the 4 a.m. talking points now.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do a parody of all different clips of them saying the same thing, sometimes even with the same verbiage.
Yeah.
And that's undeniable. Everybody sees it, everybody knows it, and that's what's happening.
Yeah. And the whole cancel culture thing that's coming up on the right is everything that we were up against, especially when first Trump first started to run. That's what we were. They said that he was a racist, right? And we kind of talked about it earlier. Um, and that's all they kept calling him. The media kept calling him a racist, And what did people do? What did we do? We went and checked out. All right, what is this guy really saying? Is he really a racist? I know a lot of people used to like him. He was always on TV. Didn't seem like one, but
Hey,
now they're saying
rappers
this.
were rapping about him wanting to be like Trump.
Yeah. And then you go listen to him and you end up going, huh, that shit made sense. You know what I mean? I know I'm not racist. That made a lot of sense. And that's kind of what's happening right now. You tell people to stop listening to Tucker. They're gonna go listen to him. That doesn't work. They're gonna go listen to him. He's a smart man. I don't think Tucker says anything wild. And I just don't think you're gonna see it, right? And then the boogeyman. on the right now is Nick Fuentes. They say don't listen to him, cancel him. He doesn't deserve anything. And all you do is push more people to go find out. You know, let's see what Nick Fuentes is saying. And for the most part, I'm seeing more clips of him now.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of those clips, I have seen where he says some wild stuff, yes, but a lot of the clips that people are sharing now, it's him kind of just making sense. So it's like it's gonna have that reverse effect, and like you said, with the talking points, it's like you see people posting the same thing versus X person, um, you know, the same, and it's nothing different. Like we've literally turned into, well, not us, but the our side is turning into what we didn't like.
Yeah.
And nobody, I don't know, it's like nobody's calling it out, and it's become tribal, and a lot of people are using Israel as their shield. So for example, I think Brandon Tatum said that if you criticize Israel, you're either ignorant or I forget the other word, but they were both like, you know, basically, or anti-Semitic, I think was the two options. And it's like you're just being tribal
Yeah.
because we're able to break it down to you and tell you, okay, we see a real difference between the land versus the government. That's what it is. Doesn't make us anti-Semitic, but that's what people are using. They use Israel as a shield to just, this is my side now.
It's look, it's controlling dissent. That's that's what it is. It's it's that they use that to correct you,
Mm-hmm.
into a certain position, into a certain direction. Because we don't necessarily, like with the land of Israel, we don't have a problem, but you start, like I told you, you start doing a little bit of homework and you find out that the Israeli government funded Hamas at a certain point in time, and we have too,
Mm-hmm.
just like the Taliban and stuff like that. And you point that out, and then you get put in that camp. You get labeled anti-Semitic, anti.
Mm-hmm.
But we can do that with everybody
But
else.
dude,
We can't do it with them.
I'd rather say that than, what did Brandon Tatum say? He says he want Gaza turned into a parking lot. Like, dude, I would rather say no. It's. I get what happened October 7th was messed up, but it's also just as fucked up to just say you want to turn it into a parking lot. Like, I don't know. To me
That's not
that
right. That's
that's
not
not
right.
right.
Dude,
And
we have to call things the way that they are. That is not right.
mm-hmm,
The way that Lindsey Graham was speaking and giggling like a little girl is not right.
mm-hmm, yeah.
It
But
just ain't right, man.
in that little tribal thing that's going on right now, he's on the right side. You know what I mean? He's not an anti-Semite, because now that's all they're doing now is it's just throwing that label, just like when they were throwing the word racist around. Now they're just throwing anti-Semite around, and then nobody's going to take it seriously anymore. You know, because it's disingenuous. You're just saying it to prove a point, and people, we're wired different, dude. We're wired to like look into things, and we're wired to not fall into manipulation and bullshit from either side. And that's what they're doing now. And I've been seeing people go like, oh my god, Charlie Kirk was the glue and he kept all this together because now there's all this fighting and this and that. And it's like, no, I don't look at him like a glue. I think Charlie had his lane, and I think he held himself and his organization to a standard where, even though he never called for the cancellation of anybody that I could remember. Even Nick Fuentes, I don't think he ever wanted to debate him, but I don't think I ever heard him say something about canceling him completely, like people are saying now. like Mark Levin's talking about Tucker. Um, and it's like, to me, it's like, no, I don't think he was that. I think that unfortunately, when he got assassinated, people saw it created a vacuum. People saw an opening. People that wanted that position, that power, are all the ones that are now being loud and saying, you know, don't be anti-Semitic. Yeah, Charlie
Mhm.
was super pro-Israel, so you know you can't be anti-Israel because that Charlie wasn't like that. And it's all the people that are loud right now. To me, Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, people like that are trying to fill that void because there's room there to to gain more eyes, more ears. And they
Well,
don't want Nick Fuentes, they don't want Candace Owens, they don't want Tucker to get those ears. So
yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with that too.
What if you could look up what Charlie's quote was? It's like when you don't have dialogue, violence come is next or something like that, right? When
Yeah.
so this is my opinion is that you know God gifted Charlie with that talent to be able to have that dialogue and that mentality that rather than having violence, you have to have dialogue, even if you disagree.
Hmm.
And you know what that is? That's attractive to other people. That's attractive to young people. Do you think that people want to walk around being angry and talking shit to each other? That that's
Hmm.
exhausting. That requires a lot of energy, a lot of dark energy. And that's not attractive. People don't want to wake up feeling that way. People don't want to go throughout their day feeling that way. People don't want to go to sleep feeling that way. So
Hmm.
when they hear someone that is having a heated debate with someone else, and at the end of it, he could say, "Bless you, thank you for coming out." He would
Yeah.
say this a lot, and I didn't listen to him prior to him, being assassinated. These are clips after the fact
Hmm.
because I wanted to see what this man was saying that caused him to, get assassinated. And you know what caused him is that attractiveness of the way that he spoke to people. That's attractive. It was it was him being able to go, "Thank you for coming out and saying what you said and
Hmm.
talking to me."
Hmm.
Even after
Being
they
called names and
shit about him.
yeah. The quote was, when dialogue ends, violence begins.
There it is.
So, I think, I don't know. I've done several clips about, just, yeah, I don't know, watch who you give a platform, watch who you listen to. If people are calling for cancellations of, so whoever, even if it was the other way around, like, dude, like, everyone should be calling that out. And if you're really that about it, then debate. Do what Charlie would have done. Debate him. You know,
But
nobody want
they don't want to do that.
they don't want nobody wants to. Ben Shapiro doesn't want to debate Tucker. Doesn't want to debate Nick Fuentes, but he wants to tell everybody they're
To cancel them.
anti-Semites.
Don't talk to them.
Don't talk to them. Don't listen to them. And it's like, dude, like,
You
don't
know,
listen. Don't listen to that noise.
all of this that's happening is weakening their credibility.
Hmm.
And we all see it. And they're trying hard
They are,
and
dude. It's a huge push right now.
they're trying really hard and they're getting trolled in their comments.
And I'm disappointed in a lot of people. A lot of people are getting wrecked in their comments. Oh man, thank God it's not us.
No, I mean,
But it's Christian
it's not
says.
a position that we would hold anyways. It's like, people talk smack to us and it's like it's okay, man. You're
Yeah,
entitled to your opinion and it is
say,
what it is and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like,
yeah.
I see a bunch of people, the stickers that said "fuck your feelings"
Hmm.
or
Yeah, yeah.
there. I see that bumper sticker all over the place. That's what
Yeah, that's what
we
we're
used to
supposed to
say.
be.
It's like the truth doesn't care about your feelings.
Ben.
Now, the
It,
shoes on the other foot, and now you're trying to use that against us.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy. Oh man, yeah, no, it's crazy because and yeah, I mean, I think some people are just yeah, like off the rails. I mean, I don't know what they're on right now. I think they feel like they're what do you call it? What is that word where it's like no, they're above everyone. They're right. They're
But
arrogant in their stances. I think right now. I don't know. It's like this
yeah,
weird vibe. But the thing doesn't doesn't make sense to me is like you go to their comment section and they're just getting
that's what I'm telling
obliterated.
you.
Like so,
It's that
I don't get it.
it, if it look if it made sense, if it was common sense, and they were right, um, the comment sections would be really different,
Hmm.
obviously. But here's the thing: is that we have all the information that we have at our fingertips, so we can go look back and see um, real time. As we look it up, whether they're lying or they're not.
Hmm.
We can see what they were saying 2 weeks ago, yesterday, 6 months ago, a year ago, whatever the case may be. And now we could see that they're hypocrites. And that's not attractive.
Hmm.
It's not attractive, and people aren't going to follow that.
Yeah.
So there, and we've seen the clips of Bibi Netanyahu having conversation with influencers and what the plan is and what they're trying to purchase and the message that they're going to be pushing out
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's like, look, what do you want us to act like we're blind and deaf?
Hmm.
It's in our face.
Hmm. It's like they want you to ignore reality. Just yeah, you're not seeing that. Just like they're just trying to. It's just like a gaslight movement operation.
And that's really what it is. I mean, we say it all the time. Is dude, I'm immune to freaking being gaslit right now. It's like I've I've been seeing this for a long time, and you know that
Yeah.
that that stuff is. I think we're all getting immune to that.
Hmm.
We're anti gaslighting right now, anti gaslit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that, and then whatever whatever people had to say, like okay, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and you
it.
know what? You know what the crazy? I'm gonna share something with you. Um, and I haven't talked about this, but when the whole Charlie Kirk thing happened, and someone was talking about the autopsy
Hmm.
and that how that 306, you know, hit him in the neck,
Hmm.
and I was all caught up in the moment and emotions and stuff like that. And I am a Christian, so when they said that it was a miracle that it stopped in his neck, stopped it, from coming through because there was people behind the net and other
Hmm.
a tent, and other people would have gotten hurt. This is how they get us, man. Because I had a thought like, "Oh shit, that is a miracle,"
Mm.
and I caught myself, and I'm like, "These, they, it's like it defies physics and
Mhm.
logic and everything," and it's like they had me for a split second, and then I kind of snapped out of it.
Mhm.
But that's how vigilant we have to be, man.
Mhm.
It's like we can't get caught up on these things. It's kind of like conflating certain things together that don't make any sense, and then we fall for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're trying to do to us right now. And it ain't gonna freaking work.
No. Nope. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna work on some people, but not on us. You know, we've gone through enough with this government to know not to take their word for anything when it comes to an investigation. And we'll see. That what did you used to say, like at the first episodes we did with with time the truth is revealed,
With time,
something like that, right?
truth, the truth always comes out. It always
Yeah.
gets revealed. Always.
So we'll see. So and that's the whole thing with with Candace. People are like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. She should stop. It's like, no, let her do her thing. Let her find out. You know, let her ask questions. Isn't it? Again, going back to like the side that we're supposed to be. We're supposed to ask questions, aren't we? Isn't that the side that we're on? So it's like, even that is wild to me. But you know, we'll see what happens. The,
No, I
the truth
mean,
will come out, and people just got to stay alert, not be gaslit now by even the people that are on quote unquote your side. So you know,
yeah.
it.
Look, there's a lot of things that we can question. Um, and since we're, on the subject right now, but the whole Charlie Kirk situation and stuff like that, and Candace saying what she's saying, and everybody saying what they're saying, is that we have to be consistent. We're either going to be for free speech or we're not going to be for free speech.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. So if you want to argue with us or you want to talk shit to us or anybody else or anything like that, the one thing that you have to do is be consistent. It's
Hmm.
either you're free for free speech or you're not. And it's kind of like when we had that conversation about ICE and deportations and
Hmm.
stuff like that. We're Latinos, so it hits us
Yeah.
in our lives with actual family members and people that we know and stuff like that. And it's at the end of the day, I told you guys, at the end of the day, law and order is law and order.
Hmm.
We can't change
And
the
cherry
laws
pick.
just to appease us or in our best interest or anything like that. So it's the same thing. It's
Hmm.
either you're going to be for free speech or you're not. Which one is it?
Straight up. Yeah.
And you're allowed to have your opinion and say I don't agree with that, and be like, all right, cool, you know,
Yeah.
you do you, I do me, and that's it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna follow. I'm not gonna tune in. I'm not gonna listen. You're an adult. Do whatever the hell it is you think you need to do. But
Yeah, and I
you
don't
know,
agree with
free
something,
speech is free speech, like you
I
said.
don't follow you, I won't get you through my feed anymore,
Hmm.
and it's all good. You can continue existing and doing what you're doing.
Yeah. 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 You can. Likewise with us. You don't like what we say, dude. That unfollow button isn't gonna hurt us. We don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But no, I mean, we'll see how everything plays out. I just think that this whole cancellation thing that's going on is ridiculous. And like you said it perfectly. It's yeah, we're either about free speech or we're not. And if you don't like what somebody's saying, you're a grown ass adult. Unsubscribe, unfollow, mute, block. There's so many things, buttons you could click on, and then just you move along with your life. And then whoever wants to listen to those people, it's their freedom to listen to the speech they want to listen to. Nobody here should control or have a say in who gets to be heard and who doesn't. The people will decide that.
Yeah. One thing that I actually do want to get off on my chest, and I've been thinking about it for a long time, is and I think I've talked to you about it, is a parable of the wicked tenants that Jesus gave.
Mhm.
And this is my opinion, okay? Is that if we're gonna act as Christians, that whatever the Israeli government is doing is correct, and we have to support them I want you to think about that parable. Is that that's why Jesus came. That's why God sent him. Is because the tenants in
Mm.
Israel were not being good tenants. So if we're going to act like we're going to support the Israeli government blindly,
Blindly, yeah. Just because.
blind loyalty, just because, remember that parable. Okay. And this is coming from someone that admits that doesn't know the history of what's been going on in Israel and all of that stuff. Just, research just to, that I've done, but I'm no expert. But that's the one thing that comes to mind is that parable. Okay. So before we start following governments blindly and assuming that they can't do any wrong or don't do any wrong, I go back to that parable. It hit hard when I really understood that parable and the way that it's supposed to speak to people, and it was supposed to speak to the leaders in Israel of in Jesus' time.
Mm.
And if you really understand the parable, which the spiritual leaders at that time, the rabbis that he told that to, understood it, it hit them hard because they knew what Jesus was saying.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
They were not being good tenants.
Yeah. Well,
So I just I had to say that. I mean, I haven't heard anybody talking about that, and I feel like it's relevant. So if we're gonna have blind loyalty, think about it.
yeah.
And if you are gonna have blind loyalty, just freaking say it too.
Yeah,
Don't
that
try to
too.
don't try to make us drink your Kool-Aid. Just say that uh, uh, you've got that blind loyalty, and that's it.
Yeah. Just say that. Don't try to belittle people for not having that blind loyalty. Don't call them anything. And you just, again, just move on with your life. If that's what you want to go with, go for it. Don't belittle people. Don't call people out. Don't call people anti-Semitic or whatever other bullshit label you want to throw out there just because everybody doesn't think like you. So
Yeah. Now there are, the people that are really anti-Semitic and racist and stuff like that. That's a completely different thing. But if you're just trying to grab at straws just
oh
to
yeah.
do it, that's completely different.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right, man. Well, people, thank you for tuning in. And let's pay attention to all these lobbyists, these politicians, who's paying them, who's not, who they're doing things for. If they're not doing things for the American people, I think it's time to really start voting these people out, start calling these people out, and you know,
Okay.
turning things around here.
You know what? One thing that came to mind right now, it's like we start getting into the matrix, like Neo, you start seeing all the code. It's like all these influencers. I see you, big pharma, you know, all the different lobbies and stuff like that. I see that code running through the
Hmm.
screen when you're trying to push us on something.
Yeah.
I hope other people are seeing the code too.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah. Well, everybody, don't get gaslit. And thanks for tuning in. Peace be with you.